everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Clairpoint Podcast with me, Randy Prizzle. How you guys all doing out there? Everything good, shway, crispy, airy. But before we start the podcast, let's get on to the forfeit for this week. Remember, if you did watch the podcast of last week, I did unfortunately lose in the 5-second rule challenge. So that means, unfortunately, I'm going to have to take my forfeit, which I've got right here. Now, I'm not a fan of this. This right here is something I'm not a complete fan of, and I'm going to have to consume this, obviously, because I lost. So I'm a man of my word. I'm going to take a teaspoon here, and I'm obviously going to put that in the gullet and all of this. I'm not looking forward to this one bit, but let's see what this is saying. If I remember this distinct smell, goodness. Yeah, this doesn't fill me with joy at all, but I'm a man of my words. The smell is really pungent, so let's get into this, man. Let's just do this, because this right here is just, see that? There we go. Show people that's what I'm going to consume, that right there. Man, I'm not looking forward to this. 3, 2, 1. Eat this crap, man. Other people eat this, man. This is despicable. This is disgusting. Oh my word, man. I literally have got tears in my eyes, man. This is madness. Let's get these on, because I can't continue the show without them. Oh my word, man. Just to show people I have taken that. That's just gloopy and that's all kind of taken off. Your boy saying finish the whole spoon. Fuck you, I will. Oh my word. It's just salty and it just tastes like piss. Saltiness mixed with absolute piss. But anyways, man, I'm gonna struggle here. Okay, I've done it. It's over. The worst part of it's gone. Ooh. Yo. Let's get on to this podcast. My advice, let's go. I caused a suicide in high school. Now let's see what more this is saying. This happened 10 years ago. It was my fault. I shouldn't have snapped. It still eats me up from the inside every single day. If I could go back and do things differently, I would in a heartbeat. 10 years ago when I was 16 years old, this new kid started at school and was really into Minecraft back then. And he was wearing a Minecraft t-shirt. I didn't have anyone to play with, so I approached him and tried to start a conversation. He was really hesitant and shy at first, but when I asked him about the shirt and complimented it, he lit up. We got to know each other a bit and planned to play together. We played together for quite a few times and had fun, Eventually I got bored of the game and went outside with my friends instead. My friends didn't like him, so we never invited him, and that's when he started to get a little clingy. He would constantly keep asking to play. I wouldn't take the hint. Oh, if I said no. He also had asked our friend group if he could play outside with us quite a few times, and I didn't mind him and would have welcomed him. Some people in the group didn't want him there, so I went along with it. He started following me around a bit later and pestering me quite often. He would follow me around and talk about memes, YouTube videos, and Minecraft, often talking about it non-stop for up to 10 minutes without even giving me a chance to speak. This kept going on for quite a while, and the whole time I was getting more and more irritated. Yet the more we spoke, the more I was getting irritated. I was too scared to back out of the conversation politely, which led to my irritation building up over time. Then I had one bad day which took away a life. One day we were at a bus station and he approached me and started chatting. At one point, all the anger built up over time inside me and exploded, and I snapped and told him, "Just shut up. I was never your friend. We just played Minecraft together a few times. You're extremely annoying and nobody likes you." The next day, the teacher sat us down and told us that he had committed suicide. My entire world shattered. I instantly knew that what I said caused this, and that I'd caused him to commit suicide. Wow. I was invited to the funeral, during which his parents spoke to me and revealed an extremely important detail about him. It turns out that he was very autistic and had severe trouble making friends all of his life, and he was obsessed with MC, Minecraft. When he met me and we played, he became really happy and wouldn't stop talking to his parents about how he finally met a good friend. They knew me as his best friend. Shit. This shattered my world. I didn't know he was autistic and considered me his only friend. I didn't realise how important our sessions playing together were for him. But that doesn't really justify what I did. I should have never said that. I still can't play Minecraft after a decade. Today is the 10th anniversary of his death, and I needed to post this because it should have been me, not him. Nah, I don't think you can really say that. I think you used your words obviously very harshly in a period of time. Sorry, I'm gonna have to. My stomach is doing madness now. Give me a second. I feel it inside. This is not for this. Generally, my mouth. Oh, and the smell here is unbelievable. It's just a foul, distinct smell in the air. It's making me absolutely queasy. But back to this. My word. This, yeah. The fact of the matter is, you can't blame yourself for what happened. I think obviously you didn't think of a period of time where you were using your words correctly. And you obviously were a teenager back then. Excuse the background noise. So I'm not alone. It's just the things that I'm going through. So you kind of have to accept that, you know, you didn't use your words correctly at a period of time where they were crucial to someone. And I think obviously maybe you should have probably took the time to try to know him a lot more. Even being probably as quite honest with him, to be honest, and saying, hey, this is what it is. I don't know much about this game. Tell me a bit about you and stuff and so on and so forth. I think getting the time to probably know the person probably would have prevented a lot of this from happening. Excuse me. But you would have come to a conclusion where you would have had that conversation. You would have had to put yourself in his position or his shoes and maybe try to understand where he's coming from or what he's about. Because sometimes some people don't like to reveal a lot of things or tell people what they're going through or what's happening. So sometimes you may have to just have been probably a bit more patient in terms of where you could have spoken to him a lot more about his life, about what he's doing, about where he's from. And I think if you probably had got to know more of that information, you may have been a bit more, let's say, kinder to him, in terms of where you would have been, how do I put this? You would have been very much honest about your approach and very much direct in a way where you wasn't hurting his feelings. But the thing is, you didn't know. But that would have been a time where you could have found out, you would have known a lot more, and you would have tried to seen where he's coming from. You get what I'm saying? I don't think you can blame yourself for the matter of him dying. I think you don't know what someone's going through, but as I said, if you'd probably found out more about his background and what he did, potentially it could have helped a lot. Not blaming you, but there's small accountability you do have to take in terms of where, if you got to know him probably a lot better, you got to be probably a lot more patient. I think that would have really helped. But yeah, rest in peace to the guy. I mean, it's a shame to see him go. And I think it's a reminder, obviously, to everyone around, is to sometimes don't judge a book by its cover, but also try to be kind. I think more or less now. Now, I'm not gonna say I've been the kindest of souls around. I haven't. Do you know what I mean? I've said things to people that probably have been a bit harsh and a bit hypocritical. So I can honestly go and say that, you know, and in those places I was in a dark period at that period of time. But you tend to try and learn and grow from this and hope that you don't make mistakes, and try to keep people on a level playing field until they do something that's mad. Do you know what I mean? That's just what I'm saying there. But yeah, that's for that one. Cool. Sorry, just peering at the time here. Yeah, we've kind of gone overboard here. All right, next one. Let's come to the last one. Update. I've been letting my husband's friend fill me up for years, and I don't know why. That's madness. Now, let's just get into this really quickly, because yeah, I posted this a couple of days ago and quite rightfully got a lot of hate. I was adamant that I wasn't going to tell him, but I couldn't sleep last night and I thought I'm starting therapy soon. It's time to sleep. It's 8:30 a.m. now and my husband woke up at 5 in the morning. I told him around 20 minutes later. He didn't believe that we had never done anything under the clothes until he went through my phone and saw nothing on there apart from this account that he reasoned why I would lie. He then confessed to kissing a couple of random women over the years and a bit of inappropriate texting. Neither bothered me, as I don't consider kissing or online chat cheating. He rang his friend and they had a bit of a shouting match, despite me telling him it wasn't always him who initiated it. He wasn't really that bothered and we kissed and hugged before he went to work. This is just a toxic relationship. Do you know what I mean? Your husband's friend was feeding you up for years, you know what I mean? And you say you don't know why. It's obvious what he wanted. And you allowed him to continue feeding you up. Do you know what I mean? When you had a husband. So you were in the wrong. Do you know what I mean? Not just him. He definitely was in the wrong. And he deserved to get punched in the mouth. Because he's supposed to be a friend of your husband, but he wasn't really being a friend, was he? He was trying to make shenanigans of his own, come to you, and try to do the cheating thing. You know what I mean? Because listen, if man was a real friend to obviously his friend, he wouldn't be going around there and messing about with you. Do you know what I mean? That in itself is something that he should just listen and said, hey, get rid of you and him. Because number one, okay, cool, he's probably cheated before, so, but his best friend, do you know what I mean? That's a line you don't cross. But listen, he was the one who felt you up, right? So he's like, oh, he didn't kiss you, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But on grounds alone, he should never come back to you again. Do you know what I mean? Because I wouldn't, if I was him, I wouldn't trust you again to be getting on with anyone else. Do you know what I mean? So, as for his friend, dump him in the river. Get rid. Don't need to go there anymore. Because this guy has proven that he's distrustful and unloyal. So why would you want to be around someone like that again, who's going to be an absolute dickhead and do these sort of things again? So I wouldn't trust him again, and it's time to get rid. Goodbye. Goodbye to him, goodbye to you. Goodbye. Not my friend, but my enemy, because now he's an enemy now. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And that's all for Randy's advice. What do you guys think of the advice? Put your comments below on that one, or keep them to yourself. Cool, with that one, we're going to move on to talk 1,000 Blows. Now, obviously, if people have checked out the series before, it is available, obviously, on Prime. Well worth a watch, 1,000 Blows. It's basically based in the 1800s or early 900s, one of those periods of time anyway, Yeah, that's the part I kind of skipped on, to be honest. But yeah, back in the days, and let's say these two guys come from Jamaica, come abroad, come to England, specifically London, in that period of time where, it was the industrial period. And he tries to make a name for himself, comes there looking for work along with his friend, and, tries to, get cash, make money, live in a good lifestyle, here in the London, UK, but it doesn't go, let's say, all accordingly to plan. He gets involved in boxing, him and his friend, and they kind of go from there and try to figure out and navigate their lives through the boxing thing and all that. So they obviously clash with some players, so it's well worth looking into. If you're obviously a fan of boxing, you're a fan of the industrial period, Peaky Blinders as well, because this obviously was from the creators of Peaky Blinders, so it's well worth watching if you're a fan of Peaky Blinders. It has that same kind of action, medieval period, say medieval, it's not really medieval, industrial period of time, and definitely something you can sink your teeth into and get more involved and watch. So without just summarizing it, I found it to be very good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. As I said, I'm not someone who is going to give you spoilers, so you're going to have to watch it for yourself and figure it out. As I said, if you're a fan of action, drama, anything to do with, like, you're feeling the episode of Peaky Blinders and you've watched Peaky Blinders before, then this will be right up your alley. So Ashley Waters also was someone who directed as well, so big him up, and big up Azakaya, you know what I mean? See, the main character, I don't know his name unfortunately, but big him up, and obviously his brethren as well. I think all the cast generally did their thing, man. Really, really good show to watch. So thoroughly enjoyable and very much a great watch for me. It gets a thumbs up from me. Overall, my rating for 1,000 Blows, I'd give it an 8.2. I think there could have been probably a lot more better in terms of depth for the storyline, in terms of more adding a lot more episodes to it, because I was engaged and then bore me over. Do you know what I mean? By episode 6, there's only 6 episodes in the series, so you can watch it all in one day if you're a binge watcher. But I would have wanted there to be a bit more, and probably a bit more depth to it as well. Tell us more about Hezekiah's background. Tell us more about why he decided to come here. Tell us more about, you know what I mean, the whole journey. You know what I mean? Just don't show us clips. Just really get us really engaged in the character, and that's what I didn't find as appealing, especially with his interest as well, Mary. I wanted to find out a bit more about her too. So, you know what I mean? I think there was some holes there, but I think it was still a good series to watch. So that's just my opinion on that. So 8.2. Well, cool. Well, that's what I thought of 1,000 Blows. But what are you guys' opinion on 1,000 Blows? You can put your comments below on that one, or keep them to yourself. Cool. Well, we're going to move forward now to talk. There to be the champion. I'm not going to lie to you guys. If you can't see, my lip hair, the top is all swollen. I don't know if it's a reaction to the flipping yeast extract thing. Flipping, like, my lip was not doing this before. Now I've discovered when I'm trying to talk and creased my lips. I felt a massive bump on it. This just shows you, man. This is real, boy. But anyways, let's move on. I can't do this anymore. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is probably gonna be the last time I'm taking any of you. You could piss off. Do you know what I mean? After this piece of shit. Do you know what I mean? Fucked my lip up and all that. But anyways, let's get on to it. The Champions League. It's the round of 16, leg 2. So let's get on to the first part of my predictions. Barcelona versus Benfica. It's obviously the podcast today has been shot not on Mondays, but shot today on a Tuesday. So the time here is 1:03 p.m. So the time the game is currently going to be on is 5:45. So I can predict the game because obviously it's not in the same time, and this podcast should hopefully be out before the match starts. So let's get on to it. Barcelona, Benfica, aggregate. Barcelona obviously winning 1-0. I'm going to go for Barcelona finishing the job at the Camp Nou. I want to say 2-1 Barcelona. So I think 3-1 on aggregate. Come to the next game. Inter versus Feyenoord. It's today at 8 p.m. 2-0 was the aggregate score to Inter Milan. I'm going to go for Inter Milan finishing the job here. I'll probably even say like a 2-1 Inter Milan. Final will go for it, but I think Inter would have a lot to see the game out. So 4-1 on aggregate. Shut up. Liverpool versus PSG. You know what I mean? Today at 8 p.m. Aggregate Liverpool winning 1-0. It's at Anfield. I don't give PSG a cat and mouse chance, to be honest. I think they'll probably score a goal, but I think Liverpool would see the game out. Could get a bit hairy, but I think Liverpool would see it out. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Liverpool win. I think the crowd at Anfield would be up for it. I think PSG would find that very intimidating. I think it's going to be 3-1 Liverpool, which would be 4-1 on aggregate. Next game, Leverkusen versus Bayern Munich. Leverkusen obviously lost 3-0 in the first leg. So Leverkusen are at home this time against Bayern. Do I think they could turn it around? I think they'll probably win the game on the day, but I don't think they're winning on aggregate. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Leverkusen win, which will mean 2-4 on aggregate, Bayern Munich going through. Next game, Lille versus Dortmund, 1-1 on aggregate. So this is all to play for here. It's on tomorrow at 5:45 p.m. I do think it's Dortmund are going to win this game, even though it's going to be at Lille's ground. I think it could go into extra time, maybe a 1-1, and then Dortmund sneak it with a late goal. So I'm going to go Dortmund going through 3-2 on aggregate. Aston Villa versus Club Brugge is on tomorrow as well at 8 p.m. Aston Villa up with a 3-1 advantage from the first leg. So I feel that Aston Villa will see this game out. They're at home against Club Brugge. I think I'm going to go for a 2-1 Villa win, which will mean 5-2 on aggregate. Aston Villa going through to the next round. Arsenal versus PSG is on tomorrow as well at 8 p.m. Arsenal obviously winning the first leg 7-1 PSV's ground. I do think Arsenal would see this game out. If they don't, it's an absolute capitulation. 7-1 in aggregate. I see nothing more than an Arsenal win. Maybe even a 3-2. I think there'll be some goals in it. PSV will try, but Arsenal will end up seeing the game out. Probably even a draw, maybe. It's 3-2. I'll go 3-2 Arsenal. So 10-3 on aggregate. Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid. Now, Real Madrid obviously up on aggregate 2-1. You know what I mean? It's on tomorrow at 8 p.m. I feel that Atletico could come into this and fight. They're at home. It's their backyard, but Real Madrid have this habit in the Champions League of really being strong, of really being resolute. So I feel like Real Madrid will see this game out. I think it'll be a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1, but Real Madrid seeing the game out to go through and go to the next stage of the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So that's my predictions of the Champions League matches. But what are your predictions? You can put your comments below on that one or keep them to yourself. Cool. With that now, we're going to move forward now to the Premier League. I can't even... Ooh, that hurts. Even trying to whistle, that hurt. Like, damn, man. Well, anyways, let's go. Yeah, all of that. You know what I mean? Man, piece of shit. You fucking... But anyways, let's get on to this. Premier League, match day 29. Saturday, 15th of May. The games will be on. Everton versus West Ham. But before that, actually, sorry, I didn't give my reactions to the game before match day 28, so I should have done that. Just literally jumped the gun. No, I want to get out of it. This thing in my mouth is just fucking me up. But anyways, let's go. Nottingham Forest, Man City. Big up to Nottingham Forest beating Man City 1-0. You know what I mean? It's a great result for them. You know, fantastic to see City lose again. Fuck 'em, man. But let's move on to the next one. Liverpool 3-1 against Southampton. It's a standard as usual. But I also wasn't as roses on all of that for Liverpool. Because Southampton, again, took the lead. And Liverpool seemed to be struggling. But they ended up with a 3-1 win. Crystal Palace 1-0 against Ipswich Town. Ipswich Town, to be honest, they're going down. You know what I mean? But, you know, good win for Palace at home. Brighton 2-1 win against Fulham. So big up to Brighton. Do you know what I mean? Beating Fulham against the last kick of the game. It was a late goal, you know what I mean, which got them the win. You know what I mean? Aston Villa, 1-0 win against Brentford. So away from home is a good result for Villa. Villa don't usually do well away from home, but they've got that winner against a very tough, resolute Brentford team. So Villa, you know, progress and get the win. 3 points, still in that running for, you know, the top 8. So Wolves, Everton 1-1. Draw game. You know, I mean, nothing much to more say about that. So let's move forward. You can say a good result for Everton away from home. So Tottenham 2, Bournemouth 2. So Bournemouth were 2-0 up, and obviously Tottenham found a way to fight back. You know what I mean? Through Sarr's cross goal and, you know, another goal from Tottenham. You know what I mean? But Bournemouth threw it away. You know what I mean? But Tottenham, listen, would have been peak and Posta, no clue. Do you know what I mean? See if it ended up with Tottenham losing, obviously it should have ended up with them losing, but they managed to fight back and get a 2-2 draw. Chelsea 1-0 against Leicester City. It's good with Chelsea, keeps them in the running. They're in top 4 positions now, so they've got a real opportunity here. Excuse me. So Chelsea have a real opportunity and a chance there, currently in the top 4 position. Man United, Arsenal 1. You know, what more to say about this game? Ball draw, dead tings, all of that. You know what I mean? Started off in the front for Arsenal, did, and they just ended up in the draw. You know, Man United put the 10 men behind the ball, but they had a game plan. They stuck to their game plan, and obviously they had the chances as well to probably win the game. But so did Arsenal. Both teams didn't really take them chances. Bruno Fernandes scored obviously the free kick, which obviously David Raya should have been more central for. Didn't be central, and obviously it went in the back of the net. Free kick from him, and Declan Rice was a brilliant finisher. Miles Lewis-Skelly with the assist and a brilliant finish from Declan Rice. You could say it is what it is, but just not good enough from Arsenal's perspective. But for Man United, they'll see it as, again, probably a good thing for them. You know, even though they probably think they should have won the game as well, but I think in terms of stopping Arsenal pushing forward, it's good as that. It's the sirens coming. I can hear the sirens coming. Better run when you hear the sirens coming. So yeah, it's the sirens are out. Obviously, you know, ambulance out for the end of Arsenal's season. To be honest, it's hanging on the lifeline there, isn't it? But anyways, West Ham 0, Arsenal 1. Yeah, I mean, not Arsenal, sorry. West Ham 0, Newcastle. Arsenal's still in my brain. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's madness. But yeah, Newcastle winning 1-0. It's a good result for them. Bruno Guimaraes on the score sheet, you know what I mean, and beating West Ham in the London Stadium. So it's a good result for Newcastle. Keeps them in that hunt for that top 8 finish. So it's all going mad in that front end of the Premier League table because it's chaotic there. Do you know what I mean? A lot of teams are vying for that top 4, top positions. So it's all in the air. Do you know what I mean? It's all up in the air. Do you know what I mean? So let's move on. That's my predictions for that's my reactions for the Premier League matches. Let's move on to match day 28. 29, sorry. As I said, this whole thing has messed me up. But anyway, let's go. Everton versus West Ham. I'm going to go for... Everton win. 2-1, Everton. Southampton versus Wolves. I think Southampton could get a draw here, to be honest. I'm going to go for a 1-1. As matter of poor Southampton have been, I think this could be the game where they get points from. Ipswich Town versus Nottingham Forest. I'm going to go for Nottingham Forest. 3-1 Nottingham Forest. Man City versus Brighton. I think City would bounce back here. It's going to be a tight one, though. I think it'll be a tight one. Yeah, a tight one. 2-1 City. Bournemouth versus Brentford. This is one of the ones that could go either way as well. I'm going to go for a draw here. 1-1. Arsenal versus Chelsea. This is on Sunday at 1:30 p.m. I'm going to go for a... we're at home, but does that matter? The way our season's gone so far, I could see nothing but a draw here. I'm going to go 1-1. Fulham versus Tottenham. Fulham. 2-1 Fulham. Yeah, I think Fulham will beat Tottenham at their place. Leicester City versus Man United. Man United. A very tight 1-0 Man United win. And that's all for my predictions, guys, the Premier League matches. So what are you guys' thoughts on my predictions in the Premier League? You put your comments below on that one, or keep them to yourself. Cool. We're going to come on now to touch AEW. So obviously, AEW Revolution pay-per-view happened on Sunday. Let me just get into my thoughts and my opinions of the matches that did happen. You know what I mean? Forget all the pre-show. You know, I had the pre-show here, but forget that. Don't care about all of that. You know what I mean? Just don't bother with them pre-show stuff. Obviously, Undisputed Era call, they won. Kingdom, sorry. They won. Fantastic for them. Grudge match. The MJF versus Hangman Adam Page. So it was a great match. Brilliant match. Enjoyable. Thoroughly good watch. Big up to both participants. Very good fight. Very good match. Yeah, man. What's more to say about that? Solid standout match and thoroughly enjoyable. So yeah. The TBS Championship match. Mercedes Moné versus Momo Watanabe. Good match. Obviously didn't really hit the heights of the first match, but I thought it was a solid match. Big up to both women. They both put it on the line. Momo Watanabe showing off what she can do as well. For some people who don't know about her. And Mercedes Moné showing why she's the CEO. Do you know what I mean? So a very good match by both of them. The AEW World's title #1 contenders match. Swerve Strickland, you know what I mean, versus Ricochet. Again, a very good match. Thoroughly enjoyable. The storyline behind it was brilliant as well. Very good storied match. Thoroughly enjoyable. Yeah, man. Big up to both participants. Obviously, if I'd have to give a rating, okay, let's give a rating for each of the matches that went on, because people would want to know. MJF Hangman Adam Page, I'm going to give that a 8.5 out of 10. Mercedes Moné versus Watanabe, I'm going to give that an 8.2 out of 10. Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet, I'm going to give that an 8.6 out of 10. 8.7. 8.7, yeah. Okay, the next match, the Continental Championship match. Kazuchika Okada versus the Hounds of Hell's Brody King's Continental Championship match. This one was really the one that was like decent, but I would have wanted there to be a bit more involved in this match. Just didn't have enough oomph for me, but it still was a decent match. But probably one of the ones that probably isn't going to get into the 8 category. I'll give it a 7.8 for this one. The AEW World Tag Team Championship match, the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin versus the Outrunners, Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd. Again, quite short. A short match, but do you know what? To show how dominant the Hurt Syndicate are, I think it made sense. Do you know what I mean? So, because of how it didn't lag on. It was quite brief and showing how dominant the Hurt Syndicate were. I'll give it an 8. The AEW Women's World Championship match, the Hollywood ending match, Timeless Tony Storm versus Mariah May. This was an absolute classic of a women's match. Cinematic. You know what I mean? This is what you want to see. For me, this was one of the matches of the night. You know what I mean? There was a few of them, but this was one of them. I'm giving this a 9.5 out of 10 because this match was absolutely insane. Brilliant match. Do you know what I mean? No, to be honest, I'm going to go 9.8. I think it was that good. Do you know what I mean? It was that good. 9.8. So what's stopping it from getting a 10? I think there was a match that was a bit better than that. So that's why, yeah. But the AEW Championship match, International Championship, Konosuke Takeshita versus Kenny Omega. This was another classic match. Brilliant. Absolutely amazing. Me, this match, phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it beat the women's match, but I think it was just as close. So I'm giving it a 9.7 out of 10. Incredible match. Brilliant. Thoroughly enjoyable. So yeah, we go to the next match. The steel cage match. The aerial assassin Will Ospreay versus the protostar Kyle Fletcher with Don Callis. This easily is a 10 for me. Do you know what I mean? Not even lying to you. This was like one of the best matches of the night. Incredible. Thoroughly enjoyable. The storyline behind it, the match itself, the spots, all of that was brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So for me, it gets a 10. Do you know what I mean? And then we come on to the dead ringer of the night. Do you know what I mean? The AEW World Championship match, which is weird to say this. Do you know what I mean? But as I told people, when Jon Moxley is not involved in a death match, I don't seem to care. I don't. I'm being honest. I don't care. But he was against the Rated R superstar Adam Copeland, aka Cope. You know what I mean? Which I still think the name sucks, by the way. Just call himself Cope, but it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Dead ring over match. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just yeah. I'm giving it 5, to be honest. Or the weakest of the night. Just get a 5 for me. It's as simple as that. So overall, the pay-per-view as a whole, I gave it a 9, didn't I? Yeah. No, an 8.8 overall. An 8.8 I give the pay-per-view overall because I thought it was a very solid pay-per-view. As I said, I think that match, there were certain other matches on the kickoff show, because that's included as well, that I just thought, nah. So 8.8 out of 10 for me. And that's all from my predictions of Revolution and thoughts on AEW and the Premier League and all of that. But what are your thoughts, guys, on everything I've commented on? The forfeit even, did you like it? If you liked it, you guys are sickos, but still, it is what it is. Put your comments below on that one and keep it to yourself. But big up you guys for checking out this episode. Appreciate first time watchers, season watchers, all of you man then and gal then. Big yourselves up one time. You know how I usually do it when I finish. Don't forget to subscribe to the ting if you liked all of this, and put a like and all that comments below if you want to. Because if you want to. Peace, love, unity, have fun, and you're either all in or clear out. This fucking thing, piece of shit. Fuck me up, dickhead.